this is Marie-France here. Welcome to Healthy Cooking for Food Lovers. We are making a special dish today because we all love our potatoes, and who doesn't like this nice baked creamy potato dish that can go with everything. It is so delicious. We love potatoes. However, since we start to keep low carb, and so we're gonna use our cauliflower today, and they're gonna act as potatoes, and it is so delicious as well. We just follow a similar recipe, but we make it with cauliflower. So it's gonna bake in the oven. And so what I do is I've prepared this cauliflower already, but I'm just gonna slice it like what we would do with some potatoes. So I just make some slice, just simply like that. Just cut them into little slice, just like so. There's no perfect way of doing that. Just okay, so there's quite a lot here, so I'll keep doing that and I'll show you what happens next. Here we have all our cauliflower, and they're just little slice like this, and it's full, but when it's cooked it's gonna go down a little bit, so that's plenty here. And I have one onion that I also sliced in small thin slice, and I'll put that all on top. I like to put the onion on top because when it cooks all the flavor falls through and it goes. Now don't forget your salt. We use the Himalayan pink salt, and it's important to salt at every steps. So we're gonna add a little bit of salt here because it needs to get through when it cooks, and just a little bit of salt on top like this. What goes on top is little creamy sauce. Now I use the similar way where you would do a bechamel. But we know that bechamel normally are made with milk, and our choice is to use, whenever we can, to use the full cream instead of milk. Yes, it's so delicious, but the reason is that yes, it's higher in fat, of course, it's cream, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we prefer cream because it's lower in carb. That's the idea. So if you're trying to cut the carbs, every little bit counts. That's why we have cauliflower here instead of potato, and we use a little bit of cream. So I will make my bechamel using some chicken stock and a little bit of cream as well, and you'll see how it goes. So it starts with the butter and the flour, always the bechamel, and same quantity. So depending on how much you're making, here I have 1/4 cup of butter and 1/4 cup of flour to make my bechamel. So let's have a look here. The butter is already ready. I will just heat it up a little bit more, and I'll add immediately the flour, 1/4 cup of each. And so you never go wrong, you just use the same quantity. That's simple. And always add the salt, the pink salt always. And then we need to start to cook this flour. So it's important before you add any liquids to your bechamel, whatever liquids you choose. Normally the bechamel you would add milk, and that's it. That would be about it. But here it's all mixed together. This is not ready yet. It needs to cook a little bit so you don't taste that floury taste in your sauce. So I will just keep that going here to cook the flour before I add the liquid. So but we can just start adding a few things. Now what this is dried mustard. I put about 1/4 teaspoon of dried mustard, always in my bechamel. So it starts to cook beautifully. I'll show you in a minute and you'll see. So, yeah, it might stick to the bottom a little bit, but you just gotta watch it. You know, don't walk away from this. You have to watch it because it goes pretty fast. Okay, so for now, we have the salt, we have the pepper we can add here. That doesn't make much difference. And this is starting to cook, to boil a little bit. So you will see the consistency will change a little bit. So now it looks more like this. Butter and flour, salt, pepper. Okay, so I'll just give it another half a minute maybe, and we'll add the liquid. Now we'll use the chicken stock here in our sauce, creamy sauce, and we'll add some cheese to it as well. It's gonna be really nice, and a little touch of cream. So here I have some chicken stock, and how much do I put of that? I forgot to measure for you. So here I put 1.5 cup in here, the whisk to do your sauce. Okay, so now we can heat it up, and it's gonna start to thicken. As soon as it comes to boil, it's gonna thicken, and you don't need to cook it much more longer because your flour is already cooked, so you don't need a lot of cooking for this. As soon as it is just a little bit, as soon as it's boiling, it's gonna get thick very quickly. Gotta watch it, you can't walk away. It's already thickens a little bit, but it's not boiling yet. Well, wait till it's boiling. I like the consistency here. I'm really happy with that. It's really, really thick. Before I add the other, because I want it thick, because I'm gonna add some more ingredients. I'm gonna put some cream. Yeah, it is thickening. Let me show you in a sec. I'll just give it another couple of seconds. It is really thick. Oh, that's what I wanted. Yeah. So now, a little bit of cream, 1/4 cup. Voila. 1/4 cup of cream. We have some Parmesan cheese here in that recipe. Parmesan cheese, and I'm gonna add some cream cheese, 1/4 cup. That was about the same for the Parmesan, 1/4 cup, and 1/4 cup of cream cheese. I can't leave that too long. It was calling me, it was boiling. So I'm just gonna send that here and wait till it's all mixed and melted together. Be a really nice creamy sauce for our cauliflower potato. Yeah, it's really thick, and it's gonna go on top of our cauliflower, and it's gonna, as it cooks, it's just gonna get through and cook together. And we want it really, really, really thick sauce, because our cauliflower, they just sort of produce a little bit of moisture when they're cooking, and so we want to still have some sauce that is a little bit thick when it comes out. So that's why you want to have your bechamel, if that's what you choose, to make it quite thick. Okay, it's all good here. We've got everything. We're just going to go and put that on top, and I'll show you the finished touch as well. So this is really rich and thick. And then we're going to just pour it here on top. And it is gonna be nice. It's gonna be in the oven. Now, I know it's full, but it's gonna get down when the cauliflower starts to cook. It's gonna come down a little bit. And we want it to cook probably for 45 minutes at 350. What I'm gonna do is just like this, just to make sure that some of the nice sauce goes to the bottom. This I often use the other side of the spoon. I find it helpful. So I just want our sauce to just have some room to come through in it, and then we'll finish with our chives on top. Now I just got those from our garden just outside a minute ago, and these are our chives. They just started to grow. It's a season for that now, and you can see they're flowering. So they have some flowers. So I'll take those two out here to tell you about those. And here's our rest of our chives. Now, those little flowers, they're so cute, but they're so delicious too. Why not eating them? Put them in your salad, or it can be just a decoration if you want, or you can chop them in your salad. But here, I'll just get the top off because this part of the flower we can't use. It's a bit hard. When they're flowering, the bits that are flowering, you just don't use the stems. You just use the top of the flower, and we will just chop and put it on top. I will chop the flowers with it as well, and just like this. Okay, some more bits left here. Let's go again. And then I think it's gonna be pretty with the flowers on top as well. Okay, let's go. Put that all on top here. I'll mix those beautiful purple bits and just put it all on top like that and put it in the oven to cook. Don't waste any. So delicious. Here we go, ready to go in the oven, and we'll show you the results. Et voila, this is our cauliflower baked. Now look at this. It's got all the layers, it's all creamy all through, soft. Actually, I cooked it for 1.5 hours, and then of course another 1 hour later to sit properly and have time to cool down. And I'm really pleased with this. It's creamy all through. It's got this little top with the cheese, and let me just taste now, because just have to see that it's perfect. It is so nice. Who wants potato? This is just as nice, and it's healthy, and it's low carb. It's the cauliflower baked. Bon appetit.